The Great Outdoors is sponsored by Par Lumber. Go where the builders go.
Preventing wildfires is a year-round job, even when it's not fire season yet. In this week's Great Outdoors, sponsored by Par Lumber, Brian Jennings takes us to the Deschutes National Forest right outside Sisters for a look at one of their fire prevention programs.
Last year's Millie Fire was the latest in a sequence of decades of fires in the Sisters Ranger District. Fires that have burned nearly 200,000 acres of the Deschutes National Forest since 2000. In that time, residential evacuations have become all too common.
Well, for me, I was lucky I have a travel trailer and a nice, very comfortable one. So, yeah, and we had a place to take it. And but I'll tell you what, where it was scary being out there on Lower Bridge Way, watching the smoke and as soon as the midday heat, the fire would just explode, right? So it was wondering, okay, are we going to have a house to come to, but we did. So.
In 2007, a collaborative effort produced the Sisters Area Fuel Reduction Project. It came with a sense of urgency.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this has been evolving for many, many fire seasons, and ultimately, the more and more years go on, we have better science about how these dry ecosystems worked and how they should function. So for every fire season that we've had, the sense of urgency of getting more and more work done in a faster time frame, increasing the pace and scale of this restoration is becoming more and more apparent. And this is actually the 7th of 7 projects that we've done over the last 8 years. And this is all about ecosystem health and then fire resiliency, protecting the surrounding areas. We have the Crossroads neighborhood just adjacent to here, about less than half a mile. And ultimately the city of Sisters is really just a hair farther than that.
Fuels that literally explode as the summer heats up are being reduced in a process called variable density thinning.
Yeah, they're doing great. I mean, as he's going through the forest here, he's essentially seeing what the forest is giving him and then accentuating those unique qualities of the forest, ultimately leaving the largest, healthiest trees, the most fire resilient trees first, and then looking for clumps like this one behind us right here, and then thinning around that, looking for openings, small trees, and just a variety of different patterns, a mosaic pattern, if you will, in the forest to try and make this more resilient to fire.
Why has this area been so fire prone?
A lot of different factors. I think the first starts with the number of trees per acre over the landscape. Fire exclusion and putting out fires for over a century has definitely caused that, among a few other factors. But the amount of brush that we have in here, coupled with the amount of trees per acre, and then of course the fire seasons are getting longer and hotter and drier, it's just really kind of been this perfect storm.
The thinning model has gained national, even international attention.
Thinning from below, promoting fire resilient trees, providing a forest structure that can take fire. Fire's never going to go away in these ecosystems. I mean, they've been a part of our ecosystem forever, and they probably will always continue to be a part of that. So getting our forest in a condition that can handle fire in a low intensity, in a regular fire regime way is really the goal. And so yes, I do think that not only the Deschutes National Forest, but other forests on the east side of the Cascades and these drier forests are starting to look at this type of restoration.
Matter of fact, this summer there was some foresters from China that were here. Okay, they were very interested in seeing what's going on here. So here's foresters coming from China to see how these guys are doing their job.
As a neighbor of the forest, you have to be very excited about this project.
Oh, absolutely. I sure am, yeah. And I know all my neighbors are too. It's saved us on 2 or 3 occasions now from these big fires that have been burning up here. All this work is, it's paying off.
Near Sisters, Brian Jennings for the Great Outdoors.
Thanks, Brian, for that report. And a special thanks to our Great Outdoor sponsor, Par Lumber, for giving us the time and resources to explore the lakes, rivers, and mountains across our beautiful state every Wednesday night on Central Oregon Daily.